When I heard the sound of thundering hooves, splintering shields and ringing swords, and I placed my heir upon the Iron Throne,
I consider the matter urgent. That of your succession.
Well, who else would have a claim?
The firstborn child.
Hey, I'm Alex Rodriguez.
And I'm Chad Fair.
And welcome back to another episode of Nerd Java, where we discuss everything movies, TV shows, video games, all while having a cup of Joe.
All right. And today we are jumping into the much anticipated HBO series House of Dragons.
Dun dun dun.
Yes. And something that we're doing with our episodic reviews is we're just reviewing the first episode of the season, and at the very end we're reviewing the whole season as a whole.
Yeah, we're going to recap everything once we're done, give our full thoughts and comments on the entire series. But today we're going to focus on episode 1. It was a big hit. Apparently, it crashed HBO servers. I don't know if you heard about that. I actually didn't watch it until Monday, which was kind of
worked in your favor.
I didn't want it to crash like midway. But yeah, let's get started.
So it really gives the whole story of the House Targaryen, and really how they were in power and how they maintained their power until, I guess, they fall apart. I'm assuming, depending on how many seasons they get out of this.
Right. Yeah, I'm really interested to see how long this goes for. But it does seem like there's a huge time gap, obviously, between the two series. But, I mean, you know, jumping right into it, right from the beginning, man, they started raising that bar of conflict. I mean, they couldn't get more tense in the beginning rather than, you know, someone naming the next successor to the throne, you know?
Right.
And so that was interesting. I think that kind of reeled me in right away, you know, because that's what it's all about. I mean, that's what Game of Thrones was about. It's all about
everyone had like a real high expectation coming into this.
Yes. But they didn't let down, I think.
No.
Right?
No.
I think it was really great to just see the whole universe of the Game of Thrones era, you know, and also hearing all the names was super cool.
Yes.
Being able to identify, Baratheon and, you know, Lannisters, and how, again, before it was the Lannisters who were on top, and now it's Targaryens, and now they're talking about everyone else. That's kind of like they're just like peasants or just like other families. But I was really happy to see and be able to connect all those dots.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and there's some really neat points in it. I mean, getting to see some of the different, like you talked about the names. That's something I really enjoyed whenever they introduced like Rickon Stark.
Yeah.
I was like, I hope he knows how to dodge arrows. If you've not seen Game of Thrones, odds are you're not watching this review. But no, so I loved just the introduction. They did a great job of introducing so many of the characters. The thing is, like with Game of Thrones, I imagine this is going to be very similar to where every episode, it seems like we're going to be getting more, I guess, spiraling down into the depths of the different characters. Because they always introduce new characters throughout the entire series of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that this is just laying here's the most important people for now type groundwork.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I totally foresee so many other characters being introduced from all parts of the realm, right? I mean, you're going to see people. We got a little taste of everybody, I think, especially since they had that tournament with the jousting, which was a really cool scene, by the way. Damon's helmet. I mean, how awesome
my
was
gosh,
his helmet,
that was cool.
Right? I mean, I just looking at it, I'm like, that's just so badass, just having the huge black.
One thing is so many,
wings.
like, knights always just had like the open slits.
Yeah.
They didn't actually do the full face open.
Yeah.
Because you had to protect your vision. Or you're protecting your face, protecting your eyes.
Right.
You like if a lance were to hit you in the face,
you're done.
He'd be done.
Yeah.
But it just shows his level of confidence and his arrogance.
Yeah, that's true.
Which
I actually didn't really touch that point. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then Daemon, I mean, he's just a great character. Obviously, you're gonna hate him right away. I mean, I think, you know, there's no question about that. He's gonna be the antagonist of the entire show.
I think that people right now are looking at him as the antagonist.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily view him that way.
Yeah.
I know it sounds weird. I think they're trying to set him up to be that way.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm like, he's the one that's doing the things that need to be done.
Yeah.
Because, like, the city was not safe.
Yeah.
And
you made some good points.
And he brought in the gold cloaks.
Yeah.
And established law in a very brutal way. Very brutal way.
A little over the top. I mean, sometimes a little force is necessary, right?
But the thing, I wouldn't even go that far. I wouldn't go that far. You're trying to set me up for some really bad comments there. No, what I'm saying is that, like, the unless you were royalty or you were like part of the royal bloodline, anyone could murder you or do anything to you, and there was no real repercussions.
Yeah.
And he was establishing, saying, "Hey, there's going to be repercussions."
Yeah.
So I kind of dug that. I dug that he went into the closed council, and just like whatever. It just kind of really did not care.
Yeah.
He's like, "I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I got this."
Yeah. I mean, but like I said, I mean, there's some sense into it. Like even the king was like, he's got a point. Like, I can't completely. But again, if you do it again, then you know.
Right.
So yeah, I get it.
There has to be accountability.
Exactly.
There has to be accountability.
Exactly. Right. I mean, he could have gone around it a little different way, but I mean, he just took matters in his own hands, and he was judge, jury, and executioner at that point, right?
But we also don't know. They've not established what that looks like.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, that's how their realm might do justice. We don't know. I mean, that's pretty on point for how they did it in Game of Thrones. Really quick before we go any further, I know we've been talking a lot. If you are still with us, you're enjoying this video, please give us that big thumbs up. Click the little subscribe button right down here. We would really appreciate it. And also put in your comments. We want to know what you're thinking. Do you agree with this? Do you disagree with us? We want to hear all that sort of stuff.
I just liked how they kept escalating the conflict.
Yeah.
You know, obviously that's one of the main things about writing and about story making, just conflict. And I think they did a great job. You know, like with everything was going great. I mean, they even had that scene with the forced C-section. I think that scene was intense. And then, that just really showed you how important it is for a king to have a male heir, and like how they're going.
I'm not gonna lie, I actually had to pause it before that happened.
Yeah.
Like I was finding that scene to be so hard to watch.
Yeah.
And then I actually had to pause it and come back to it like a half an hour later.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, I just need a break from this. And part of that is because the conflict kept on escalating and escalating and escalating.
Yeah.
I was like, I need a breather. I know it sounds weird, but like I needed to take a quick breath because I wasn't used to that.
Yeah.
Like I don't, even like when you jump back into the Game of Thrones series, the first episode didn't do that to you.
Oh, no. There was a lot of talking. I mean, whoa.
But there was, it established some conflict, but it didn't seem like every scene was building the conflict.
That's true. Yeah.
And this, like, there was no reprieve.
Yeah.
There was no downtime.
They really wanted to pull us in
right
away, and I think they did a great job for a pilot.
I feel like they had to do that, though.
Oh, yeah.
Because people were so bitter.
Oh, my God.
I mean, still, all these years later, they're still complaining about the last season/episode of Game of Thrones.
Sure. I mean...
And we were actually just talking about this beforehand, before this started filming, is like, the memes. People are already coming out like, oh yeah, I forgive them. Everything is good.
Just jumping back on the Game of Thrones.
George Martin for president. like it's they're all back on Team Martin.
All about it. They're all about it now. And yeah, they just reeled us back in, gave us a great episode one. I'm excited for the next ones. I mean, again, just escalating the story. Part of it was obviously they were trying to find the next heir. So the whole point to the current king.
Yes.
And, the eldest daughter is there, Rhaenyra, and they don't want to give it to her because she's a female, obviously. And the next one was supposed to be his next male-born child that was supposed to come out. But then in the birthing, even though the sacrifice of the C-section, they still lost the son. So it's also cool how they just jumped right into it. I mean, they're like, oh, I hate to like bring it up now, but it's like that's how you know how important this is for the entire round is to figure out who the hell is going to be
the line of succession.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's not until like 15 years from now, but I mean the line's got to be established
because you could die tomorrow. The thing I find really interesting is I want to see how this builds out. I really want to see like with Game of Thrones how they went outside of, because it looked at first like it was with Game of Thrones it's going to be all about House Stark.
Right.
And I want to see if they build it out the same way. And I think that's what will pull the fans in.
Yeah. I think especially since all the families are technically already established, I think it's easy for them to, again, like you said, like, oh, this is Rickon Stark. And it's like, oh, we all understand who that is. We start to see, he's from Winterfell, he's part of this whole other area down south So I think it's going to be really easy to pull in new characters, and it's going to probably be really natural to bring it in because again,
and I think they're gonna have opportunities too because they can explore areas that they never explored in the original series. Like I would love to see them go into Bravos really, go into the banks and all that, and bring them more into the storyline and the effect that they have on the building of the Seven Kingdoms.
I would hope so. I mean, I feel like they're pretty important.
Right, but they really didn't talk about them that much in the original series.
Yeah.
Like they would mention them, but they didn't really go into them.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be something that'd be really cool to see.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to see what the hell Daemon does after. I mean, he took that dragon and rode off, and you know, like shit's gonna go down in the next couple episodes.
Well, I mean, that's a given.
So I'm just really looking forward to that. Is what I'm trying to say.
And all the dragons roared as one.
I consider the matter urgent. That of your succession.
Well, who else would have a claim?
The firstborn child.
Rhaenyra. No queen has ever sat the Iron Throne.
The king has an heir, Daemon Targaryen.
I will not be made to choose between my brother and my daughter.